Oh.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next installment of the Well Woman's guest speaker series, which I still struggle to say. And I'm really excited about this guest because, and I know I say that about every guest, because this one's a little bit different. So this guest isn't a coach in the same way that a lot of our other guest speakers have been. This guest speaker has products, but I'm really excited about these products because of how they link to health and well-being. I think it's really important, and it's something we don't talk enough about. We talk a lot about body, we talk a lot about mind, but there's another aspect that I think is huge. So I'm really excited to welcome Dawn Love from Dirty Hippy, and I love that name too. do you want to tell people like what you do and where has that name come from as well?
Where shall I start? So Dirty Hippy, the name. I mean, when I first started, I was like, I need to give myself a name, obviously. And we were just kind of like, oh, you know, my friends used to joke and kind of call me, oh, you dirty hippie. And I was like, oh, it's a bit out there really, isn't it? And put it by a few friends and they were like, no, do it. And so, yeah, that was it really.
Cool.
It was just because it was just like a jokey little name that, yeah. And then, yeah, I didn't really expect it to get as big as it did. So it's good though, you know, people remember the name. It's not something you forget easily. So it's done really well.
Cool. And so what is it that you do? What do you sell?
So mostly hair and body products. Started off with deodorant, and then the next products were tooth powders and shampoo bars. Shampoo bars especially because I was looking for a way to cut down the chemicals. And I didn't even know what they were at the time. I'd never heard of shampoo bars, but I realized that was the only way to really truly cut out all of the chemicals, because when you've got a liquid shampoo, you've got to have preservatives, you've got to have emulsifiers and all these things in it, but in a bar form you don't. So I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I have is the shampoo bars, because they're just amazing. Like, you don't have any chemicals, nasty chemicals in them, but also no packaging, so yes, they're perfect. And yeah, lots of other little things like lip balms and cardboard, cow balm, which is really popular. A lot of people have skin issues going on, and that's really good for just about anything. And then I also have a little bit of a range of things like period undies, menstrual cups, stainless pegs, other things that, you know, kind of go along with the zero waste or low waste, metal razors, things like that. So that complement.
Did you start off then like making your own products for fun or as a hobby, or like, and then it's grown, or how did you, like, where did you start, or why did you
start? So I played around with a few little products, but deodorant, natural deodorant was such a struggle for me, because when my eldest is 15 now, but when she was a baby, someone said to me, you know, the deodorant that you're using has aluminium in it, right? And like, you're putting it right here, and then your baby is breastfeeding, and that aluminium is going in your body and in your milk. And I was shocked. I'd never heard that.
Yeah,
there was such a thing. I mean, I didn't look at the packaging either, you know, it was completely shocking to me. I was just like, what? And then I started searching for something that would work. And I remember I used to buy this one. It was like called Tea Tree something or other, liquid one in the supermarket, and it was terrible. Like, it was wet and it was gross. And then I tried so many different health shops and, you know, all these different ones, and nothing ever worked. And then I discovered probiotic deodorant, and I found
deodorant. Wow.
a great, and I found a great one, but it was in America, and I got it from America, and I was like, this is amazing. I want to use this, but I don't want to be ordering this product from America. And I kind of started Googling on how to make it and that sort of thing, and did a bit of research, and then just got some ingredients and thought, surely it can't be that hard, and I'll whip some up for myself. And I made it, and it was even better than the one that I'd been using. And I was like, this is amazing. So I got a bit more ingredients, and I made some for my friends, and I tested it to the max. Like, I didn't shower for 3 days, and I went on these big treks up the hill and like really put this deodorant to the test. And I was like, that's amazing. And my friends tried it, and they were like, this is so good. You should sell this. Like, we need this, because I mean, there's a lot of natural deodorants on the market now, but this was 7 years ago. I think it was
they were rubbish then, because I remember using different types, and then after about half an hour you were still stinky and sweaty, and I remember thinking, what do I do?
Yeah, they're terrible. And so I was so stoked, and I thought, I know a few people who'd be into this. I'll just make a few, and it'd be a nice little bit of extra pocket money. And then they just sold out straight away. And then people were telling other people, and they wanted some. And it wasn't intentional that I was going to start this big brand. It was just, a little bit of extra money, and then it just grew. And people started asking me for other things like shampoos and things like that. And it just kind of snowballed.
Wow. So it's really come about just because of your own interest, like you said, with the aluminium. And then with the name Dirty Hippy, have you always been someone that cared about using natural products? So
yeah.
Right.
And it was super important to me for the packaging to be as minimal as possible as well. Like when I made the tooth powders, I've always had it this way. It was always had to be like the glass jars, and refills I've always had in paper, and always done everything I can. The deodorants, when I did start at first, they were in like a plastic tube, because we couldn't get the cardboard containers then. So I used to offer to refill them and do what I could. But yeah, as soon as I discovered that we could get cardboard tubes, I started the hunt for that. And I did try to get people to make them in New Zealand. I really tried. Like, I tried loads of companies, but the cost is just, you've got to get them from overseas, because unfortunately to get something like that,
obviously, like the market seems to have really grown, because even now I know that you can get natural products even in the supermarket.
Yeah,
you used to get the health food shop or something, and
yeah,
even the big brands are now jumping on board, because there's obviously a demand. So have you seen how, like, in the time you've done it, have you seen it kind of really blossom? Has that made it easier, or does that make it harder when there's obviously more demand for it, but then there's more competition?
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, the thing with the supermarkets, that has made a huge difference to myself, and I think other smaller producers, because before they had to order it online from somewhere or go to a health shop, but now you can just be doing your groceries, and you can pick up, I think it's, I don't know how you say it, but Aotearoa or something like that. They do one in all different colors in the supermarket, and it's a good price, and it's just right there. So yeah, I think that has made it a little trickier for us. Just, it is what it is. People go to the supermarket, it's right there. It's way easier to just pick it off the shelf.
So can people buy your products online, or do you do markets, or do you have a shop, or how do you work?
I don't do markets anymore. I used to, but it just took up too much of my time having a family. And so either online, or I do have a list of stockists, which are mainly just like nice little organic eco shops.
Right. And is that like, when you have products like you have, is there a point where if you get any bigger that you might compromise on the ingredients?
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I've just always kept it to just the smaller shops. Like, I've been contacted by, bigger places, or, people who go, oh, I want to help you get on Amazon or this or that. And I've just said no, just kept it to what I can manage. And I haven't advertised. It's all been word of mouth, and which has been amazing. And I was lucky, if I was trying to launch my brand now, I think it would be a lot more difficult, but I built up quite a good base when there wasn't a lot of other businesses around. So yeah, I was lucky in that respect. I think it'd be really difficult for anyone, trying to get into the natural products world now, because there's a lot, especially over lockdown, COVID, you know, everyone's kind of going, oh, I'll start my own business. And so many were popping up nearly every day. Yeah. Which is awesome. It's so good, you know.
It's also, I guess, that there's a change, and people now want natural products, and they're thinking more. I think people are more aware of chemicals and the plastics and what that does to health. And because I think people have become more interested in health, and I think COVID, to some extent, has made people more interested in health.
Yeah,
I see that's kind of gone hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you have a vision for what you want to do with your business at the moment?
To be honest, I've kind of just become quite comfortable with it not being too busy. There was a time that it was really in a growth phase, and I was doing all these markets and, you know, really enjoying it, growing. And then I was like, actually, this is a bit too much. And had to cut back on the markets because my kids were like, Mom, don't go to the markets. You know, it was just like, wow, I'm actually kind of working too much.
So had you come from like a corporate type background prior to?
No.
How did you know what to do then? We
just completely winged it 100%. When I started, I've got a logo that was designed after a little while, but at first I just plucked some mandala off the internet and made up some labels on paint, and you know, just kind of went from there.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah. And I was lucky in that my business organically grew as much as I could really handle it anyway. I never had to push or do any marketing or anything like that. So I was really lucky because
most of it's in word of mouth. People use your products, they love your products, they tell them, then
buy them for other people. And I've always made sure that I have like of as many products as I can, like little sample sizes. So it's not like, because I remember being annoyed, you know, you'd buy this whole deodorant and then it would suck and you're like, you've got this rubbish. So it's, I've always tried to, like, I do little deodorant samples and little shampoo bar samples so people can just try it and it's not a major outlay.
And do you have plans for more products or does
always
all right, or is that based on what you want, or is that based on the feedback you get from clients that say, oh, can you make
sometimes feedback, but a lot of the time I just kind of, something will pop into my head and I'll play around with it, but then I'll just put it aside for ages, and then someone will say, oh, have you got a blah blah blah, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll try again and, you know, just muck around with stuff. But I have a lot more ideas than I actually put into practice, you know, just there's always ideas.
and like, are you still making things for fun rather than necessarily making creams or whatever and thinking this is going to be a product? Would you still kind of do that just for the fun of it?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with soap, because it's just, I love soap. I find it quite meditative because you're like mixing and you put these like natural colors in, and it's just, I love it. And that's my favorite part of it. Like I suck at admin and I don't enjoy the admin side of it, but the creating, I just love it. And making new products is probably the funnest part of it.
That's awesome.
For me.
I can see I can see your eyes light up when you talk about it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's like being a kid again, you know, and you're mixing all these things together. Apart from when
I was a kid, I'd mix up herbal teas. I'd go out in the garden and make mud tea and throw some leaves in, and so for me, like playing around doing that as an adult, it takes me back to being a child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same. I used to, you know, go pick all the flowers off the bushes and make them into little perfumes and stuff. But awesome. you get to do it with products, and actually sometimes you're like, this is a good one, and then people love it.
So like if you went back in time and you met your 20-year-old self, what would you tell your 20-year-old self based on the learning and the growing and the journey you've been on? What would you need to hear from you?
Oh, stop trying to please other people, you know. Don't be all about what other people think, and, you know, do you.
Did you get trouble with that? Like when you told people that you were going to go into this business and make products that were natural, did you get told by people to not go that route, or that you were daft for doing that, or?
Not that I remember, no. My friends were all like very encouraging of it. And I think because I didn't really go, oh, I'm going to spend all this money and do this huge thing, you know, it was like organically just grew. It was never like I was trying to pitch this idea to anybody or anything like that. It just, yeah. But sometimes they'd just be like, oh my gosh, I saw your stuff in a shop. And, you know, like, crazy that it kind of snowballed and went to that, when I was just like, oh yeah, make a few deodorants.
You think maybe you're surrounding yourself with different people as well than maybe from when you were younger, because the people around you now actually more who you are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think running a business has definitely kind of, it's made me less of a people pleaser, because I've had less time to, you know, worry about what other people think, or it's helped me grow in you know, just learning more about myself. And
well, I'll tell you, running a business is the best personal development course there is, I'll tell you.
It is, yeah. You learn so much. And yeah, there's times you really have to not care what anyone thinks, especially when you're putting yourself out there on social media, because, you know.
Oh, no. That's the bit I don't like, but I just get over it. There's always going to be people that don't like you, or don't like what you say, or don't like how you say it, or don't like what you wear, or whatever. So
absolutely, yeah.
So can you just remind me what are the products that you sell again, so that people are really excited and they want to know more? What products to sell?
So the biggest ones would be the shampoo bars, conditioner bars. I do an amazing activated charcoal acne face wash bar, which is super popular and it lasts ages. So I think if it didn't last as long as it did, that would be my most popular product, but it lasts so long that
you did that wrong.
Don't need to buy it that often, because it's really good for teenagers as well. Like, I wish I had that when I was a teenager, because I was using all these crappy like Clearasil horrible stuff, but this is just all natural, and it really works. What else? Cow balm, that's really popular. The deodorants, so I do probiotic deodorants, and I also do a magnesium spray deodorant. Lip balms, they're really popular because they come in a cute little cardboard tube. And what else? Oh, it's all behind me on the shelf here. Yeah, they would be the main ones.
Awesome.
And then dry shampoo, that's pretty popular.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, in a glass bottle, in a little shaker.
Oh wow. Oh, my daughter would love that. So that's awesome. So if people want to know more, they'd like to look at what the products you have, how can they find you? How can they follow you?
Dirty Hippy, either on Instagram or Facebook, Dirty Hippy NZ, and my website is just www.dirtyhippy.co.nz.
And they can just buy the products from your website.
Yep, and they can find my stockists on there if they want to go have a look.
Cool. And if they wanted to get samples, can they order those on your website too?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's like each thing that I have samples for, you can buy them individually, or I do some sample packs where you get like a bunch of little products to try, which is super popular because then you can kind of try all these little things and it's not that expensive, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate this, and this is the first time I've met you, and I've been kind of following you for a little while, thinking I need to talk to you because I just love what you're doing. And as I said at the beginning, I think this is a part of health and well-being that we've kind of focused on these other parts, but what we put on our body is just as important as what we put in our body. And packaging is so important, because the packaging is also, you know, stuffing up the planet, and so it's a win-win, because, you know, we're a reflection of the earth and vice versa, and so what you're doing
Absolutely.
is people, and it's helping the planet, and I think it's huge. So thank you for what you do. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your time, and I'm hoping that if everyone go out and have a look at Dirty Hippy and try some of these products, because they're fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.